Hello.
Hello. I'm Arthur Tapnell. I'm chairing this session. I'm from Melbourne, Australia, and we have two presentations now coming from Slovenia, both by basically the same people. The first one, they're to do with devices and different uses for devices. So the first paper, Breaking the Ice, the use of technology to initiate communication in public spaces. I think I'll let the authors introduce themselves.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello everyone in the Digital Performance Lab. I really apologize I can't be there at the moment, but I hope this video presentation will work. So as introduced, our first paper was, well, the title of the paper is Break the Ice, How to Use the Technology to Initiate Communication in Public Spaces, and my name is Matjaž Kljun, and the co-author is Klen, Čopič, Pucihar. He is next presenter of the next paper as well. So, I need to, okay. So the motivation for our work was a lot of times we end up being alone in public spaces, and the way we deal with it, thankfully nowadays, is we use mobile phones. We try to be very we try to be busy, try to let other people know that we're doing something very important, and we don't want to be annoyed, we don't want to wait there in vain. And so we thought about how to deal with these situations with the use of technology. And one aspect of it is also privacy, security, and other issues that came along. So to start with, I'll start with one Reddit page, and it's really interesting because when we all hear, well, we've been in these situations, but people have a lot of conversation. Well, people start conversations about it on the internet a lot. So here we have, for example, one Reddit page, and this one is being in bar alone waiting for someone was a lot worse with the old Nokias than it is today with smartphone. So it's easier today with a smartphone to be alone. But nonetheless, there is technology out there that can help us. So, and are people alone out there when they go in a bar? Well, yes, they are. So the same conversation on Reddit, one user asked, do people actually go to the bar alone? I'm really curious about this. And the next answer was, sure. Usually to try to make friends, but people are too shy to start the conversation, especially in real life, because we're afraid of being rejected by someone. It's really hard to be rejected by someone. The next one said also, but I don't have energy to sustain a direct interaction with someone. So people are also happy to be alone. Don't understand me. We do want to be alone sometimes, but sometimes it's just nice to start a conversation with a stranger or a group of strangers, for that matter. So we have digital communication seems to be easier than real life communication for various reasons. We hide behind our screens, and we are anonymized in a sense. And we can present ourselves as someone else, and there are different models of who benefits from digital communication. And the early research of digital communication was focused more on how digital communication, how internet actually hinders social aspect of communicating. And the results were always that people feel more lonely when they talk online, and they're socially isolated and so on. But nowadays, with all these social networking sites and mobile phones, digital communication became Well, we see it in a different light, and in this respect, also research has focused more on who benefits from digital communication. And there are different models out there, and first one is Rich Get Richer, which basically claims that people who are good in communicating, good in making new friendship in the real life, benefit most of the digital communication as well. So they're more easily to get new friends online as well. Then but there's another model called social compensation, which claims that people who are in a real life more shy, they benefit most from digital communication because they feel anonymized in a sense, as I said before. And then there's a third model which says seek and you shall find. So it's basically people who want to make friends online will make friends online, and people who don't believe in that making friends online is possible, they won't benefit from it. So the social compensation. So the thing is, as I said before, people are anonymized when they are behind the screen. People share a lot of their information. When we are behind our screens, we don't care much about what we post there. Well, not that we don't care. It's harder in real life to tell someone, I don't know, your phone number, then it might be online, or email, then it might be online. Online people don't ask themselves that often, why this person needs my email. And it's easier to ask for personal information online than it is in real life. So approaching a girl, which might be this guy here on the photo, online it's easier. So and the thing is, so with these new applications such as Tinder is really famous out there. It's easier to reject people. I've watched a friend a couple of weeks ago who he's from States and he uses Tinder a lot, and he was like, oh, I don't like, I don't like, I don't like. He was just swiping real life people on the screen, and the one who he didn't like, he swiped on the left, and the one he liked, he swiped on the right side. So I was really surprised by this. It's really easy, and he gets rejected probably a lot as well. And in a minute, you can reject 30 people who want to make contact with you. And probably 30 people rejected him in the same minute. So it's really interesting how this rejection is not affecting us online as it is affecting us in the real life. So rejection, no problem. And Tinder is just one application like this. There are several of them out there. As I made a little research, and I was really surprised. And a lot of people are using these applications. So, but the thing is, a lot of digital friendship, the friendships that start in the digital world end up in the real world as well. And the problem with digital-only friendship is that it leaves there is a big void of information that we are missing, such as in this picture. And there are a lot of scams that are going on online when people actually fall in love with other people who have a fake identity on the other side. And on one hand, it's really hard to bring this. I mean, people can be scared of bringing these digital-only relationships in the real world, and this gap is really. I mean, it's hard to jump across, I suppose. At least if I'm looking at myself, because as I said, Tinder generation is more open about it, and they have actually they can have a couple of dates a week, and so this digital, the friendship or the conversation that starts in the digital world ends up in the physical world easily for newer generations, I suppose. I don't know, but actually if we leave it only digital, there is a lot of voids that we don't know about people who are online, and they might be a boy who is our girlfriend, as on that photo. So again, the anonymity and perceived sense of security when communicating using internet is on the digital side really an advantage. But the physical presence and non-verbal communications of the physical world is it's an advantage of the physical realm, I suppose. And the question in our research was, well, we were presenting just an initial study because we are in the process of deploying the whole prototype. But the question was, can we bring these two worlds together? So can we use the technology to help people start communicating, making new friendships in the real life? So we made a prototype, which is basically a tablet computer put on the desks, on tables in a cafeteria or in a pub or in a bar. And people see, well, initial screen, people see the layout of the cafeteria, and they see the tables that are available as the green ones seen on this picture here, and the tables that are busy and the tables that are invisible as well. So, and they can select a table in a cafeteria and start playing a video game, doing activities together. We have tic-tac-toe, we have chess, we have put their chat now and sharing or drawing, collaborative drawing, and so on. So we made a two-part study, and in the first part we put our students in a cafeteria and just let them use the prototype. And the thing is, I really enjoyed it, which was kind of surprising, but it lasted only for half an hour. So it would be interesting to see now how this works in real life. And then the second part of the study was with the same students. We had a group conversation, a user focus study, and here are the results. So people are really afraid of being alone and really avoid these situations because they don't want to be seen by other people as being alone. I don't know why this is such a taboo, but they really so they really try to avoid such situations. And if they don't have anyone to go on a coffee with, they would rather go to a vending machine and have a coffee there than go to a coffee or cafeteria and have a coffee by their own. Or even if they don't find anyone to go on a lunch with, they would rather eat a sandwich on a bench in a park. And the bench in a park, I've read a recent study about it, and I was really surprised. People in a bench in the park, well, you own it. You kind of, when you sit on the bench, that's your private space, and you own that private space. And it's easier to eat on a bench in the park alone than eating in a cafeteria or in a restaurant on your own. So, and it was really striking how they really avoid such situations. There are certain situations when they start conversation with someone. We'll see this here. So, if they happen to be alone, they try to. Well, the conversation starters are usually asking someone for directions, or asking someone, for example, in a cafeteria or in a restaurant, if the chair is free or available to sit on, or maybe when they ask someone for a lighter, and it's really interesting. Well, these conversations quite easily die out. They don't last much if there is not a common ground between two people. For example, when someone asks someone for a lighter, it means that they're both smoking, so they have a common ground, and this conversation can continue. Otherwise, it really can die out really soon. If, for example, if someone asks for what time is it, and then the conversation dies out. But okay, so in one situation, students were happy to join a group of others. Such situations were, for example, playing football. They would join a group of people playing football on a field because they have some common ground and they don't have to talk about because they played sports together. But approaching a group of strangers in a bar is a bit more difficult. They don't find it that easy. So, and one more thing here is that even if they're asked by a group of people to join them, it's really difficult to join people because they don't want to present themselves in the wrong light. They don't want to make fool of themselves. So it's really difficult for people to join other people they don't know. So, and the results of Technology Pro were, as I said, astonishing because students really liked it, and they used it for half an hour and they couldn't stop. But the thing is, they've used the Pro with people they knew. So this might help them to start using the prototype and to start collaborating with people that they knew. So as I said, the future work, our future work really is to deploy these tablets on tables in a restaurant or in a pub and see how people react to it in real life. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Well, we have time for some questions. I'll have to move over here, I think. Right, questions. Someone must have a question. Okay, go ahead.
Hello, Matjaž. My name's Diane.
Hi, Diane.
I'm not a student and I'm not an academic. But nevertheless, I was very interested to hear your presentation and read your chapter as well in the book. Congratulations, it is printed.
Thank you.
You worked with your study with students from, I think, your university. And you're hypothesizing that this encouragement of sociality, socialness, can help in general. Can you also see ways in which it can be advantageous in your own local setting between, say, the people in mathematics, the people in computer science, the people in the other couple of faculties? Can you see a real life use?
Okay, yeah, thank you for the question. As I explained, we're more focusing on social areas such as cafeterias or parks, and not so much on conversation between people in different offices. As I said, we've developed a prototype. We have a couple of issues to solve as well, and we're planning to deploy it in a cafeteria. We haven't thought about any other setting so far because we really want to see how this how the prototype would be accepted in a cafeteria environment. But yeah, it would be interesting to see it in other areas as well. Yeah, again, our focus was on the settings where people are socially present. So digital communication could switch to physical realm if both parties agreed on it.
Great, good news. Sorry you can't be with us. It would have been fun, and there are so many cafes and restaurants around here. You might even have been able to do a quick pilot. Thanks very much indeed, Matjaž.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Last, yes, there we go.
So, hi.
Hi.
I am wondering, what do you think are the places in which such a technology would later on be really implemented? Do you think it's really something that could be used generally, or would it rather be like an alternative or addition to what we already have today with such speed dating events and stuff like that?
Well, yeah. Thank you for the question. Since we haven't thought about speed dating in this respect. As I said, as I explained before, we thought of using this prototype in the settings where people are socially present to help them start real-life conversation if it would happen at all. And well, yeah, the prototype has a lot of issues and questions. As I said, we've used it in our study, and people liked it, but we might have affected the acceptance of this prototype as well. So we will try first in a cafeteria setting, in real life setting, and we'll leave it there for a couple of months to see if people are using it and log everything. And only then we'll think about other settings where this could be used. Also speed dating, for example, yeah.
Well, thank you very much for that. They're very different topics, so thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.